Your words, my mouth. Your thoughts, my mind. He's all of me. He's all of me. He's all of me. You can have all of me. All of me. All of me. I'm yours. I give you all of me. Give you all of me. Here's all of me. I'm yours. Your words, my mouth. Your thoughts, my mind. Your love, my heart. Here's all of me. Your words, my mouth. Your thoughts, my mind. Your love, my heart. Here's all of me. Here's all of me. Here's all of me. Acts 3:6-10 says, Then Peter said, Silver and gold I do not have, but what I do have I give you. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, walk. Taking him by the right hand, he helped him up. And Prophetess Kim, I want to stop right there and tell you my left hand has been tingling. The woman of God came beside me a minute ago, and it wasn't by chance, but she said God told me to grab your hand as you're walking up on the stage. And my hand's been tingling, and I don't know why, but I believe that something is about to happen in this left hand. So woman of God, you wasn't off at all, and it's still tingling. I don't know what God is about to do, but taking him by the right hand, he helped him up, and instantly the man's feet and ankles became strong. He jumped to his feet and began walking. Then he went with them into the temple courts, walking and jumping and praising God. When all the people saw him walking and praising God, they recognized him as the man who used to sit begging at the temple of the gate called Beautiful. Can you look to your neighbor? The topic is, there is a miracle.
There's a miracle
in my obedience. Look to somebody
Oh.
else. There is a miracle
There's a miracle
in my obedience. One more time. Yeah, woman of God, you was walking in obedience. There is a miracle
There's a miracle
in my obedience. Put those hands together for Jesus as you take your seat. During one of my husband and I call them our boot up moments. I think we were driving to Virginia, and on our way there we were talking, and one thing, I think I have the best seat ever on beside of the most wisest man you could ever meet. I get an opportunity to ride with him and get his little nuggets, and if you're a preacher, you know, as soon as you see something, you like, okay, that's a sermon. Okay, that's a sermon. Well, while we're riding, he said these words, man, there's a miracle in our obedience. Ooh, wrote it down. So I'm gonna give him credit for that. I believe he's gonna write a book about it. I believe he can write a book about it, but I'm gonna just give my own flavor. But when I thought about this, that there's a miracle in our obedience. One thing about New Destiny Fellowship Church, I come in a different manner and a different way this time than I came with the level up. I told you I came as a spiritual mother. This time I come as your co-pastor. Yeah. See, the spiritual mother's sweet and nice. Oh, God bless you. I love you guys. Co-pastor a little bit different. Not that I'm a different person. Not that I'm bipolar. It ain't that. I just know that I come with a different approach on today. I come to shut the enemy up. I come to tear down some things even within my own self, and I come to remind you that your obedience is what's going to get you where you need to get. if we learn to be obedient. So I come in a different manner because I realize that we are attached to, I'm not talking about nobody else's church, and I'm not coming against nobody else's church. God is doing some major things in their church. But I believe here at New Destiny Fellowship Church, there is a mandate and a different call that is on this ministry as well as each individual in here. And because there's a different mandate on each individual in here, there's some things that we must do as leaders. If we got to be obedient, you got to be obedient. If we got to shut up and not go off on faith, you got to shut up. Everything that we do is lined up for us to be able to transform. What does transform mean? Transform means in the Greek, or and change in the Greek means metamorpho. Did I say that right? Metamorpho. And then it means metamorphosis, meaning changing from the inside out. Our motto is to change our mind to change the world. So if you got to change your mind to change the world, and you're connected to a ministry that is changing all the time, baby, guess what? You can't be stuck. So I come in a different approach today because what I realized, and I'm not saying this is just for you. This God hit me with this one, baby, all last month, to where I need you to I need you to be obedient in this season. I need you to listen to me in this season. And one thing about being obedient and changing, that means you gotta be stretched. Stretching don't feel good. Stretching don't feel. What do I mean stretch? That means you gotta get in some uncomfortable situations. So I didn't come to knock you down, but I did come to throw some stuff. So I'm not looking for your amens. I don't need them. God already gave them to me. Come on. Somebody say there's a miracle. There's a miracle in your obedience. One thing about our vision is Romans 12:1, right? To be transformed, to be not transformed to this world, but be. Did I say it right? Is it right? Yeah. To be not. And do not be conformed to this world. I was trying to know it off the scuff, trying to be like Bishop. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. That's our motto. So guess what? That means that we got to do some things that may not agree with everybody. Right. That goes for us and for you. Right. Everybody ain't gonna like you. Right. And it is okay, because guess what? When you're doing some things and you're changing, everybody in your circle ain't probably gonna change in that season with you. I told the leading ladies connection this morning, you gotta get clarity in the people that are around you to make sure that everybody around you that you're confiding in will be able to push you and not get you stuck. Because I'm telling you, if you get with people that's in your circle and you're moving and they're not, believe me, jealousy is about to hit that place. I promise you that. If not, they're going to try to compare themselves against you, and they can't even compare because they ain't even going where you're going. So you have to be, somebody say obedient. Obedient. We don't change because that means that we have to be obedient to God, but we do it because we follow his commandments. Not only that, there's a difference. Can we deal with miracles? I forgot to get my notes. I thought I was going to have it together. I say, the Lord I've been discombobulated, Bishop. But yeah, miracles. Somebody say miracle. Miracle. Most of us get excited about miracles and blessings. But one thing about it, there's two different things with miracles and blessings. What happens with a blessing is that's something you can show somebody. You can say, girl, I got blessed with this car. I just got blessed with this house. I just got blessed with these things. But a miracle, like this lame man, is unexplainable. Yeah. And it's unstoppable. Can't nobody do nothing about it but God. God is the one that you can't go and explain. I can't explain to nobody how God really healed my body because you ain't never been through what I've been. I can't explain to you how I look up and how God is just making a way. I can't explain to you how my baby was 6 years old, and when we got her to the hospital and the hospital told us if she didn't get there 2 minutes before that she would have been dead. I can't explain to you. But I can tell you this, it was unstoppable. Somebody say unstoppable. See, there's a difference in a miracle and a blessing. I'm in a season now, I just need God's miracle. Forget a blessing. I need something. I need you to do some things that I ain't never seen before. So you're looking at this dude. This dude was in a place. He's a lame man, a lame guy. Y'all got the scripture back there for me? Lame guy, give me a second. Lame guy. And he's at this place called Beautiful. Somebody say beautiful. Beautiful. Can you go to, I need you to go to that scripture for me. Acts 3 and start at 1. And while he's there, Bishop, he had people carrying him. Oh, let's read it. Is it there? Okay, that's okay. Acts 3 and 1. There you go. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, 1. One day, Peter and John were going up to the temple at the time of prayer, and at 3 in the morning, somebody say 3. 3 in the afternoon. 3. Next one. Now a man who was lame from birth was being carried to the temple gate called Beautiful. Stop right there. When I looked at this, Bishop, I got even more nosy because somebody say 3. 3 represents the number 9. This was the same time. I want you to go there real quick. Matthew. It's Matthew 27 and 45. And they said 3 in the morning. And this is the same time that Jesus was going through the same kind of situation. Same time. Somebody say same time. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I'm going to come back, I promise you. But it was 3 in the morning. I'm going to read it. Matthew 27 says, from the 6th hour until the 9th hour, darkness came over all the land. About the 9th hour, Jesus cried out in a loud voice. He was at a moment of misery. The same place that this man was at the same hour. So that lets me know that there are miracles that happen, but there's misery that happens first before the miracle. There's some things that we must experience before we can even get the miracle. And they were carrying this guy to the gate called Beautiful. How do you carry somebody to a place called Beautiful? But what happens is, Bishop, so many of us have gotten to this place in our life to where we allow people to carry us even to beautiful places when we know we can get where we need to get. But when we get there, we get the begging. What happens with miracles and before the misery is that what I found out was that what happened, the reason why this dude was so comfortable with them carrying him to this gate called Beautiful, because he didn't know how to sacrifice. And go back in the Bible tells us that he jumped up and walked. So maybe there was not an issue, but in his mind, he thought that there was an issue. What happens with some of us when we get to a point in our mind, we allow everything in our life to carry us to a place to where we forget God and we don't realize what God has done, the ways that he made, how he opened doors, but yet and still we want everybody. Because if I don't got to walk, I don't really want to. If I don't really got to do right, I don't really want to. I just let Bishop, let them pray. I'll come in on your Sundays for 2 hours and just...
Yeah, that's it.
What happens is, Romans 12 and 2 says, I beseech you therefore, my brethren, by the mercy of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. What happened with obedience and miracles and obedience, what happened, it lines up with sacrifice. You can't do nothing with obedience if you ain't making a sacrifice. What happens is we get in this life because it get hard. I don't want to do that, and we don't want to sacrifice nothing. This man was at the same place. I don't feel like sacrificing nothing. If they could just carry me, if mama can just pray for me, I'll be all right. If Bishop and co-pastor can just pray, I'll just let them do it. What happened to the sacrifice? We're not sacrificing no more. We're not giving up nothing no more. We ain't saying we're going to stop doing this no more. I come to tell you, and I come against every demonic force that tell you that you need to be carried in this season or next season. It's time for you to get up and walk. Somebody say walk. You got to get up and walk. This lame man was on his way to the gate called Beautiful. But what I found out, Bishop, there was 2 things that happened. That when we walk into miracles and when we get to a point of being obedient, what we don't want to do. One of those things is we don't want to walk in wealth.
Talk about it.
This man was begging. So that means he watched him walk by, and he wasn't just asking from Paul, whoever that is, Peter. He wasn't just asking from him, but he was asking everybody. Can I have? Can I get? And I can only imagine us trying to see everybody. Like, what you doing? How you doing it? How you making it happen? And forgetting the things that's in us. Forgetting that we can walk. Forgetting that we can't bake, that we can make some moves. But what happens is,
talk about it.
This dude was sitting there, and while he's sitting there, he got to a place that we get now, and we're begging. Oh, I can't wait to share it. I'm trying not to get before myself. He got in a place of wealth. But I'm not, if I would have said wealth, some of y'all probably would have given your money right now. It ain't about that. Wealth ain't always about money. Wealth ain't always about money. It's about spiritual wealth. That's what I'm dealing with today. Some of us, we don't deal with the spiritual wealth that we walk into. What we really deal with is material, because I need the material things to go to my next level. I need the material things to do what I need to do. This man was at the same place. I need this, I need that, but not realizing that he didn't even need that in the end. All he needed to do was walk. He didn't even need the money. But not only that, our worship. Our worship, Bishop, I could have threw a shoe because you was all in my sermon. Worship is not a song. Worship is not your favorite song at the last end. Worship is a lifestyle. But what we do is get up here. You can have all of me. Have all of me. Have all of me. I'm yours. And I give you all of, hallelujah, all of, thank you, Jesus, all of me, I'm yours, because I give you all of me, only when it's necessary, all of me, only when the kids are acting right, all of me, only when my finance, I'm yours, your words, my mouth, only if they don't say nothing off the chain. Your thoughts, my mind, I don't know. Right now I'm really thinking about what I can cook. Your heart, mind, whatever gives all of me. You can have all of me. Only if the lights are on and the bills are paid, and if my husband is doing right. You can have all of me. Only if everybody show up on church on Sunday. You can have all of me. I'm yours. Only on Sunday morning, 2 hours a day. You can have all of me. Only on Wednesday night Bible study. All of me. All of me. I'm yours. It ain't about that. It's a lifestyle. Can you really love God? Can you really be obedient to God when all hell is breaking through? Can you really say yes to God? Can you really say, God, you can have all of me? That means everything that's in me, you can have it. That means you can have my mind, my body, my soul. God, whatever you want to do with me, do it. But no, you can have all of me only on Sunday. All of me, only if Bishop is in front of me. All of me, only if the prayer team pray for me. I'm yours, Lord, I'm yours. That's it. When God said, I need you to be obedient in season and out of season. I need you to be obedient when you don't like them, when you're mad at them, when they talk about you. I need you to be obedient every time I turn around. Do you not know when we get to heaven? It ain't just 24. I heard somebody say 24/7. No, baby, it's all day. All day we're worshiping him. All day we're crying, holy, holy. All day we're following. And we can't do it for at least 2 hours.
Come on. Get tired. Come on.
I give up. I quit. Because they don't like me.
Come on. Talk about it.
I give up. I quit. Because the bills don't look like we gonna be able. But you just told God, you can have all of me. All of me. You can have all of me. We go deep with it. I'm yours. All yours. But yet and still, we walk around like this lame man saying, can you carry me to my next season? Can you carry me? because I just can't get there. And I just need somebody to give me accolades. I just need somebody to validate me. I just need somebody to tell me that, girl, you're good. I just need somebody to tell me that, girl, you did the purpose plan. I'm so proud of you. I need somebody.
Come on.
I told Bishop I didn't care who like it, who don't like it, who do buy it. I ain't even making no money off of it. Come on, that messed somebody up, because I realized that at the end of the day, it ain't about me. It's about the person that's going to be writing their plans to push into their purpose. Eventually, I will. Let me get a whole bunch of them. But you got to realize that at the end of the day, it ain't about you. That's the maturity of the saints when we get to a point of obedience that we know that it ain't about you. It ain't never been about you. The lame man. Come here, lame man. He was at a situation and he's sitting there, and after Peter looked at him in the eye and said, get up and walk, he took off walking and he ran to the people. How about him walking? What even about him? But the people said, oh my God, you're walking. I can't believe it. And it was all because of his obedience. It was all because of him. Come here, Romans. Come here, Romans 5:19. For as by the one man's obedience, the many were made sinners. Disobedience. For as by one man's disobedience, the many were made sinners. So by the one man's obedience, the many were made righteous. So that means that every time you walk into disobedience, there are people that are connected to you that are walking in disobedience as well. But when you're obedient to the voice of God, how do I be obedient? God, I say yes to everything you tell me to do. Even if I don't like it. Even if I don't want to do it. You got to be able to say yes. Give a real yes, not yes. Glory, hallelujah. Yeah. Because we can get dramatic with this thing and walk out of here and leave here with a hard heart, walk out of here in unforgiveness, walk out of here looking like we looked the other day on the inside. I ain't talking about the outside. But we walk out of here, but we yet said, yes. Yes. Somebody say obedience. Obedience. You have to understand the miracle behind the obedience, but understand as well that there's some misery that you're going to have to go through. There's some misery that's going to happen even in your wealth. Even in your spiritual wealth, you got to understand that there's some misery that's going to come with this. Because I understand when Jesus was on the cross, in that moment and in that hour, the same time as this dude, that he was going through some things that messed him up. And he said, Lord, Lord, why have you forsaken me? Because this looked too hard. But you got to understand, even though it looked hard, it's worth it. Because it ain't about you, as well as it ain't about this lame man that was sitting there. So can I come and encourage you real quick? Encourage you and remind you that there is a miracle in your obedience. But you got to be obedient to the voice of God. So many of us walk around, and I think people get it twisted, Bishop, like the same thing is like cool or not cool or whatever they call it. But we're in a season and time where God is pushing his people to where either you're going to serve me or you're going to leave. And it's up to you. I'm going to put you through so much hell, so much stuff, to where you're going to have to make up in your mind that, God, when you do this, I know I'm going to be unstoppable. I know I'm going to be unmovable. I told Bishop on yesterday that, babe, I'm in a place where God is doing some major things that I don't want to become. He didn't know what I was talking about, but I don't want to become like this lame man to allow Bishop to keep carrying me. I got to learn some stuff for myself. Because I'm spoiled rotten.
Yes, you are. Amen.
Hush. I gotta learn some stuff for myself, because I realized that, guess what? He can't carry me everywhere. He gotta carry his own cross. He gotta carry his own stuff. You can't expect everybody around you to do stuff for you. You gotta bust moves for yourself. Forget that sitting around waiting on everybody like this lame man, waiting on everybody to do stuff for you. What happens is, when you get stuck by the gate, you pastor, when you get stuck by the gate, what you end up doing, not only are you begging, but then you start blaming. because you don't have nothing else to do but to blame. Throw the blame game. What happened to us looking at ourselves? God had to do that with me. Look at you, girl. You got to make sure that where I'm taking you and what I'm doing with you, you got to say yes, even when it hurts. We have to get to a point, and I'm done. Where you at, bro? I'm ready. We got to get to a point that this worship and our wealth is not just you can have all of me. You got to really mean it. You got to really mean it from the depths of your heart. And I bind every devil that make you think that you can't get up, that you can't move forward. I bind every devil that said you can't make it in your marriage. I bind every devil that said you can't make it in your finances. Yes, you can if you obey God. It has to be an obedience to God. Yes, you can push forward. You can get whatever you want, but you got to get up and walk. Somebody say you, not the person next to me, not the person around me, not everybody, the leaders and whoever. God, it's me. It's me, oh Lord. I'm the one standing here. I'm the one going through this. So it's me. I got to get up. Okay. I need to know, how do I get up? How do I start pushing forward? Okay, I got to listen to you. So you mean to tell me that you told me to go drop $1,000 to this person, but what we do, wait, park. Let me think about it. 4 minutes. 10 minutes and went by. 15, Lord, is that really? Is it you? When God said, if I told you the first time, all you had to do was do it. If I told you to give the first time, all you had to do was do it. But what we do is wait, is that really, am I really supposed to be a minister? While you're a minister. While you preaching. Am I really called for this? As Bishop told one of our pastors on the other day, if he called you the first time, he ain't changed his mind. It's us that change our mind about what God said. And so what happens is we get in a point of, am I supposed to be back with him? Am I supposed to be married? Let me wait. And you get back with him because you said that God told you to stay. And while you there, he ain't changed. What do you do? When God said, stay, don't leave him. Not right now. Don't leave her. Hold on to her. Look at God. I love like that. You still going forward, but you still got him. You ain't, for those that don't know.
Come on.
You ain't let go. But in your obedience, you gotta hold on. Pray. Fast. That's real simple, right? That ain't what you're doing. You being obedient to God. You just staying there. Lord, I don't know what this gonna look like. I don't know what's gonna come out of this. But God, I'm gonna just stay here. And that man had to realize, if this man is looking at me in my eye and telling me, get up and walk, and I ain't never walked before, how am I gonna do this? He had to have enough faith to know his ankles weren't even together, y'all. All of a sudden, his ankles got strong. The more you stay. But you gotta stay. If God said stay, you better stay. Financially, God, I'm holding on. I've done everything I can. I've done, I paid all the bills, and Lord, I tried to budget. But God told you to budget. But you tried. God said, no. I said budget. And until you do what I say do, all hell gonna break loose. But what we do is, I tried. And it's time out for just trying. You know you can do it. It's time out. It takes a sacrifice. Tonya, I beat myself up. Whatever. I ain't gonna give it up. I'ma hold them together until I get out of high school, until I get out of college. I'm God said, whatever you do, don't do it. But you don't want to make the sacrifice because he didn't put you in a room by yourself. And you put yourself in a position where you knew you weren't supposed to be in that position. What do you mean, Tonya? Lady Harden. Go, Pastor T, whatever. What do you mean? Don't allow him to get you in a place that's going to have you vulnerable. Don't sit in the car when you know it's just you and him. All my single people. Don't bring him in your house and it's just you and him. You ain't dead.
Right.
You are yet alive. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, yeah, that part. What do you do when you want to let go, but God is saying, no, I know you don't see no light at the end of this, but I need you to trust me in this. Trust that I'm going to bring you out. If we can ever get like the lame man and just do it. If we ever get like the lame man and just make things happen, I'm telling you, there's doors that's going to open. I told Bishop before I even started, it's some other stuff I'm working on. And I realized, like that book, the first book that I wrote, it took about 3 years to write it. And there's some other things that I'm working on in 2019. Woo, make some noise. You don't have to know. And so I was sharing with them how yesterday I went to this event. This was that you know that it's not an event, it was a funeral. That's not right. That's not an event. It's a funeral. Right. It's a funeral. So I went to this funeral, and while I'm there, and there was this lady, as soon as I walk up, she was like, hey, and I'm just like, I don't know you. No, don't know you. But I was like, hi, trying to sit down because I'm walking up. But she stood up, I think she stood up to hug me. And so I just tapped her. And God said, hug her. I ain't finna hug this woman. I don't know her like that. Whatever, judge me, whatever, don't care. So I was just like, I really don't know her. I just really want to sit down. I done walked in. Y'all, you got to learn something about me. I'm very nervous when I walk. Have you ever went to a funeral and you walk in and you just like, oh Lord, everybody looking at me. Okay, that was me. So I'm just like, they done took me way to the front. Anyway, so as I'm there, the lady did that. So about 20 minutes, 15 minutes in, she was like, oh my God, I love your book. Damn. I said, I should have listened to the Lord, and I should have hugged her right at that moment because God said, hug her. What about those times when God told you to do something in that moment and you didn't do it and you look like, man, I should have, could have. Well, I come to remind you, don't have no more shoulda, couldas like I just had yesterday. We have to get to a point to where we don't know what's going to happen. Like this lame man, I don't know who read my book. I don't know who. I ran into 2 people. What was it, 2 people yesterday? Ran into 2 people. One lady asked me, that was on the side of me, said, so when is the next book coming out? I can't wait. I said, well, it's going to be one. She was like, ah, in the middle of church. But my thing is that just like the lame man, these people got excited that this man was walking because they saw him where he was. What about people that are waiting on you to bust moves that you ain't bust yet, and they're waiting to be excited for you? They're waiting to be excited for you, but we can't walk in obedience. And it may seem hard, and it may seem tough, but we got to get to a point. I'm telling you, God showed me this. God said the new destiny is called for so much greater. And I come against every naysayer that says different. And I bind their tongue right now. And I tell you this, that this church is called to greater because we have a man of God that seeks, looks, dives, and go after greater. So if he's seeking and he's diving to go after greater, that means that you can't even sleep at night because of the mandate and the call that's on him, because you're not walking in obedience. So yes, there is a miracle. But in order to get your miracle, you must walk in obedience. So I come and I decree and I declare in this house today that every person in here will leave here being reminded that I must listen to God and I must obey God. And I gotta say yes even when I don't understand it. Even when it don't make sense. Then God, I was like a planner. Why? But God said, I need you to do this. It ain't about you. If we can get that like Christians and say, everything I'm experiencing and everything I'm going through, it ain't never about you. It's about everything that's connected to you. So can I tell you that there is a miracle in your obedience, and you can really, when you truly walk in obedience, you can really say, your words, my mouth, your thoughts, my mind, your love, my heart, He's all of me, He's all of me. I'm doing it for real, He's all of me, cause I'm not gonna give up, He's all of me. I dare you to stand all over the building. God is all of me. I come making a declaration on this morning to remind you, to touch and agree with you on this morning, to let you know that it may not be easy, but if you totally trust God and you totally depend on God, I promise you, you will see doors that open for you, but it's gonna take a yes. Somebody say it's gonna take a yes. It's gonna take a yes. You gotta say yes for real this time. You gotta say yes. I even say before you enter into 2019, there must be a yes in your belly, and you gotta be for real that God, I'm really gonna depend on you even when I don't understand it. Prayer team, come forward.